Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in Northern Michigan. I want to thank all of you for listening. Please subscribe. Well, Piston fans, breaking news, not good news. This morning, Jaden Ivey underwent an arthroscopic procedure to relieve some discomfort in his right knee. Now, this is not related to his broken fibia that he had last year, so that's good news, I guess. But he's going to be re-evaluated in 4 weeks, and he's starting rehab immediately. Well, we've talked about this before, but being re-evaluated in 4 weeks does not mean he will be playing in 4 weeks. It means that he will be re-evaluated, and then he will probably start ramping up his rehab even more. So we don't know. It's hard to say. It's very disappointing, though. He only played in the first preseason game. He was excited to play in the first preseason game. He was all fired up for it, and then he didn't play great. But some people, I heard on Twitter that some of the Piston fans had seen him react like he was in pain during that first preseason game that he might have had. So he probably injured it at that time, but he hasn't played in any of the preseason games since then. He didn't participate in the open practice. So yeah, it's just a bummer. We're planning on he's not only as our starting shooting guard, he is our backup point guard, and he was a big part, or still is a big part, of our future plans for being a great team. And it just pushes everything back. We were so lucky last year. He was really our only major injury that we had last year. And so it's very, very disappointing to start out this way. Keegan Murray's hurt. There's a bunch of players that are hurt to start the season. LeBron, but it's just, we didn't want it to be Jaden Ivey. And so we'll see what happens. But I think that we got a lot of moving parts now. A lot of different things are going to happen. Like last year, again, I mentioned this before, that Trajan did not go after and try to sign or trade for a backup point guard because that was what Ivy was going to do. So now what's going to happen? So we have LeVert, who has not played in a preseason game since the first one, and he did not play well in that game, but he's not participated in any of the other preseason games. Will be interesting tonight. We play the Wizards at 7 tonight to see if LeVert will be playing. Also, we have Marcus Sasser, and I need to pull up the stats. Everybody says Marcus Sasser cannot play point guard, and maybe he can't, but he did a relatively good job. His assist totals per minute were really high. His assist to turnover ratio was good. He's a good shooter, so he's a backup. We not to say that we're not going to sign another player, and also I mentioned in the last podcast, Jenkins has looked tough at times, not so great the last preseason game, but in summer league and in the first preseason games, he looks real good, and he has a lot of tenacity. Can be a good passer, and he really competes. His shot looks much better. So there's a lot of moving parts. Point guard Ausar. So is Ausar going to be our new point guard when Cade's out of the game? So are they going to try to stagger him? So that's a real possibility. Ausar has not looked great doing it so far, especially because he's been driving a lot. He hasn't been getting that many assists. And last game he was 1 for 5 on free throws. The game before he was 5 for 10. And again, I don't understand why people, he's got all these great coaches there and his shot's flat, why they haven't been working on him getting that elevated. He knew it was a problem last season, his arc on his shot. And like I mentioned, Cade is, his arc is so much improved, if you really could judge it and calculate it. But the big news is Ivy. What does this mean? Ivy's up for his rookie extension, and so they can wait till the end of the year. He's a restricted free agent, so obviously we might not sign him. But having said that, what happened in Sacramento? So Keegan Murray had some procedure, and he's out, and they just gave him a 5-year, $140 million contract. So it averages like about $28 million a year. And so, he's a kind of a comparable player to Duran and Ivy. But yeah, so I would think that they're going to wait till he recovers and comes back and see how he does before they are going to offer Jaden Ivey a contract. I will say this. So in my life, I follow sports, and an arthroscopic procedure, they do that. I've seen NFL offensive linemen, those guys are big. They're over 300 pounds, and they have so much force when they have to block those 300-pound defensive linemen that are crashing into them. And I've seen offensive linemen have arthroscopic procedures, and they've been back within 2 weeks playing in the NFL. And so, we'll have to. It remains to be seen how long it takes them, but they are saying 4 weeks, and so we'll just see. That's when he's going to be reevaluated. So I will say this, our team has a lot of guts and a lot of determination, and we have a lot of guys with flexibility, and I was really pleased that we had such good depth. The only problem is, again, Ivey was our starting shooting guard, and he was going to be our backup point guard. So, and he's gifted. He was our second leading scorer last year when he played, and he was shooting the three really well. So he is going to be hard to replace, but we do have other guys that are going to be able to step in there, hopefully for if he comes back in like 5 weeks, and then he'll be ready to go. But there's teams, the Orlando Magic. So the Magic, we won 44 games last year. The Magic won 41. We had Ivey was really our only serious injury, and they had Franz was out for quite a long time. Paolo was out for quite a long time. Suggs missed most of the year, and they didn't have Desmond Bane. Now they have all those guys playing. Well, Suggs is, I guess he hasn't been playing in the preseason, but he's there. There's positive reports coming out of Orlando that he's going to be ready to go. So, and then the Hawks had not the same team. So the Hawks lost Jalen Johnson, who is an all-star. He is an all-star. If he's not an all-star this year, he'll be an all-star next year, almost for sure. And he is maybe arguably their best player. I mean, Trae Young's awesome, but Jalen Johnson's like 6'9", 6'10". He can handle the ball. He rebounds the crap out of the ball. He can shoot. So they're getting him. And then they got Alexander Walker they signed along with everybody else they have. And then they got Porzingis. So they are loaded. And they won 40 games last year without Jalen Johnson for most of the year and without Nickeil Alexander Walker. So they are going to be in really good shape. So it's disappointing, but it is just reality in NBA. Guys get injured, and we'll see. And I might come back on and do another segment after the preseason game tonight, but it's just really a bummer. I love Jaden Ivey, and everybody says he works so hard. They have to kick him out of the gym. Who knows? It's always easy to speculate. Was he pushing himself too hard? Should have he backed off sooner? Wouldn't surprise me. But, that's water under the dam. There's nothing we can do about it now. But we just got to hope and pray that Jaden comes back, and because he has a lot of heart and he has a lot of talent. And, we want our Pistons to have the best year possible. But thank you for listening. I just want to get this out there quickly. But get better, Jaden Ivey, and go Pistons.